Hello and welcome back to the Blobber Plays Rosewater. We had an unfortunate and unpleasant time with Sea Captain Dress Up, but we got ourselves a dog afterwards, so we're calling last episode a net win, as well as a guitar. We will find out what is next on our journey.
Hey, Miss Johnson.
What is it?
How's our newest traveling companion?
Lisa Lou's doing just fine. Likes the wind on her face.
Doggo's got their equivalent of their head out the window as the car's driving along.
That Trapper family was nice, wouldn't you say?
Sure. Didn't rob or kill us. Suppose that does pass for nice out here.
I'll let you get back to driving.
Good.
Okay, cards, what about books? Books are one of the things that we haven't done to pass time.
I don't think I've read most of these. Scooch over a touch, would you, Phil?
The wagon is slowing down again.
See anything
Okay,
out there,
what's our
Danny?
next adventure?
Yeah, this is a small building.
Let's go take a look.
Oh, thank God you're here. I was starting to think no one would ever turn up.
What's the matter?
The post office has been overrun.
Let me guess. Rats?
Rats. Rats would be welcome friends compared to the evil in there.
Ghosts?
What evil?
The deceiver. The father of lies.
The devil?
You're saying the devil is in your post office?
Yes, just like in that story. He lives in there.
Wonderful. Another maniac. Frontier's lousy with them.
Then again, maybe not.
Wait, what are you
Ghost
doing?
Scooby?
Don't go in there. He'll devour your soul.
Excuse me?
Just stay away from there, please.
We're not allowed
Don't
in?
go in there.
Excuse me?
Just stay.
Wanted, Gina Fuller, the demon. Wonder if Mr. Postman isn't just susceptible to the power of suggestion. What's this jug for?
It's my supply of drinking water.
Phil?
Harley?
What do you think, Phil? Is that the devil in there?
If it is, I am not going to be the one to find out.
Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Any thoughts on what could be inside the post office?
Whatever it is, it sounds scary. I don't think it's the devil, though.
Nadine?
Yes?
What's your take on all this?
I'm not sure, really. Obviously, it's nothing supernatural. I believe the explanation will be far more mundane.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Do you believe this fellow? About it being the devil in there?
I don't doubt he believes it, but I also think the poor fella's got a wild imagination.
Hey, Miss Johnson?
What do you need?
What do you think's in the office?
Not the devil, that's for sure.
Mr. Postman?
Yes? What is it?
I wanna be a postman too.
Aren't we pretty far from civilization? Why have a post office here?
Oh, not at all. We're just outside the delivery area for Shivering Pines. 10 homesteads within a 2-mile radius. Anyhow, it mostly serves as a transfer and rest station for carriers like me. But next time they ask me to take this route, I'll tell them to go to hell. 'Cause that's where they sent me.
I'd like you to tell me exactly what led up to your current predicament, and give me every detail.
Very well. I arrived last night with a load of mail from Bly, up north. Passed the night here and spent the morning sorting and tidying. getting ready to continue on to the next station in Wolf Spring. About midday, I stepped outside to ready my horse. Then I heard the most awful noises coming from inside. Sheila heard them too, and bolted off like a shot. Saving her own skin, I can hardly blame her. When I looked in, I beheld a most dreadful scene. Blood everywhere. Sounds of snarling and crunching bones, and his horrid shadow on the wall. Huge and horned. I ran out here to pray for help, and ain't moved since.
What makes you think it's the devil and not something else?
What else could it possibly be?
I can think of a few possibilities.
Go and have a look for yourself, then. You'll not doubt once you
Sounds like
see
a
it
cat
with your
to
own
me,
eyes.
but
What was that you said before about a story? That this was just like in some story?
Of course. You must know the famous short story by H.W. Montesquieu. The Devil Lives in the Post Office. A most chilling tale. Of course, I used to think it was just one of Mr. Montesquieu's celebrated flights of imagination. But now, I suspect he must have known something the rest of us didn't.
Big fan of horror fiction, are you?
Well, you know, no more than anyone else, I suppose. Just something to while away the long hours on the road.
Isn't life horrific enough all on its own without thinking up new, imaginary ways for things to be awful?
Ah, but the devil is very real, miss. He'd only like you to think otherwise.
Keep calm. I'm going to try and take care of this.
God be with you.
okay. Now will he let us in? Yes.
What in the ether?
It's totally a cat.
This devil lives in every post office. Glad it's not my job to organize those. What in the ether? This lantern seems to be what's casting that shadow. What in the...
I'm unclear what you want me to do, game. Close the window?
This has got to be
Follow the blood trail?
gruesome. I hope that's not human blood.
Yeah, it's clearly
Whoa.
a cat.
That's close enough. What in the... Glad it's not my...
And we can't... Oh no, we can access our inventory. Can we throw a rock at it?
That's not going to help.
Can we throw our Omastar fossil at it?
That's not...
Can we just say it's a cat?
Phil?
Harley?
Hey,
Yes, Holly.
would you happen to have anything on
He
you
has
that
guns.
could help the situation?
Just my pistols. They could be of use once you figure out what's in there, I guess.
It's a cat.
Nadine?
Yes?
Don't suppose you've got anything that might help?
Help with what precisely?
Good point. I should find out more about what we're up against.
It's a cat.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah?
Got anything on you that might help the situation?
Aside from my gun, you mean? Well, I got my pocket mirror, but I don't see how that can help.
I'll take that mirror for a spell if you don't mind.
Okay. Curious to see what you do with it.
I use it to look over the top of the... Yeah.
How about that? Seems our devil is just a hungry wildcat. Got some good news for you.
Oh?
It's not the devil in there, it's a wildcat.
I knew it!
Jumped in through the window, looks like. Right now, he's having a fine time feasting on a fresh rabbit.
Oh. Are you certain? The devil takes many forms.
I'd stake my life on it.
So what do we do about it?
I'm open to suggestions.
Easiest thing to do would be to scare it off. I could fire a warning shot, that ought to spook it.
I'm not sure. It seems dangerous. I don't think I could lasso it safely.
I do have some firecrackers the trapper's son gave me. I could scare it off with those.
The poor creature's probably frightened to death.
It sure didn't seem that way.
Animals often act vicious to mask their fear.
Not that different to humans.
True enough.
Can we scare it off with our doggo?
Hey, Miss Johnson?
What do you need?
Any tips for dealing with wildcats?
Yes. Stay away from them.
We can't just leave this one in there.
Why not? It'll wander off on its own eventually.
She's
Come on,
more
help
and
me
more
out, would
sensible.
Like I said before, keep your distance. Avoid direct confrontation. Best bet is to scare it off.
Alright, let's go with the firecrackers.
Phil?
Harley?
Let's see if you can spook that cat with some of your razzle-dazzle.
It would be my pleasure. Anda! Success! The beast jumped out the window.
What about that other noise? Damn it! The wildcat must have knocked over that oil lamp when it took off out of here.
Santa Maria! This is not good. We need to do something, and fast.
Outside, big jug of water.
Someone give me a hand with this? That was a close one.
Yes, a bit too close.
What? What happened?
The inside of the office got a little singed, but we managed to put out the fire.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Funny, didn't see him in there with the bucket. Guess we should head back.
God bless you folks.
Okay, the case of the cursed kitty is solved. We continue on our way.
Phil's music has livened up the journey some. Jake's luggage. I could put everything I own in that suitcase and it would hardly cover the bottom. Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure.
How about that trapper family, huh?
It's nice to see good people like that out here in the wilderness. Pretty easy to get jaded and expect nothing but bandits and mountebanks, you know?
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Harley?
It was nice to spend time with that trapper family.
With who? Oh, right, the Fentons.
I believe they were the Fortines.
Right.
How about another story?
Sure. Here's one about the time I lassoed a rabid coyote. And that's how I ended up with this scar.
Huh. There's a lady running toward the road. The heck is she doing?
Madre de Dios!
I'd better see what's going on. What is it? Bandits? Highwaymen?
Worse. Performers.
Good day to you, travelers.
What's so good about it then? And what are you thinking, running out in front of the wagon like that?
I apologize for the theatrics. I fear it's in my nature.
She really just ran out in the road?
Like a deer. She's lucky I keep the brakes in good condition.
Are you looking to get hit or something?
No, of course not. I suppose I'm, well, desperate.
That much is clear. You running away or something?
Heavens no, I could never do that. I'm the impresario of this theater troupe. Name's Kate Hatomi. Our show opens next week, and I'd be fibbing if I said it was going well.
So you've decided leaping in front of wagons will put an end to your problems?
Nothing of the sort, as I said. All I ask is an hour of your time.
Absolutely
We've been rehearsing
not.
this play for so long.
No.
We're all too
No.
close to the material.
No.
We need fresh
No.
eyes and unbiased opinions. If you could but watch our rehearsal and share your honest, unvarnished impressions, you would be doing us a good turn. The performance will be gratis, of course.
No, there's no. There's only, yes, how much will you pay us? And
Lucky for you, we've got Gentleman Jake on board. He's an expert showman.
The Gentleman Jake? Why, it would be an honor to play for him.
What do you think, Miss Johnson?
I think it sounds like an excellent chance to get a few winks. I'll park just over there. Y'all have fun.
no. Save us from the circus people.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and all the Queen's Mid-Atlantic players, welcome! This is a peek behind the curtain, if you will, at a work in progress. I thank you most humbly for your indulgence and warmly invite you to share your impressions following the rehearsal. And now, please enjoy the show. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a beautiful and charming princess.
Oh, I love my land. The people are kind, the water fresh, and the days are sunny and bright.
The princess was loved and admired by everyone in the land, except one. An evil wizard coveted the kingdom and kidnapped the princess, intending to marry her and gain the throne.
I am moustache-twirlingly evil.
He summoned a terrifying dragon to guard her. However, all was not lost. For a young hero rose to the challenge.
I shall battle the dragon and save the princess. That is, if my dear mother lets me. I said, if my mother lets me, of course.
Faye, that's your cue. Faye? Where the hell is Faye?
I don't know. Last I saw her, she was in her tent.
Oh, for crying out loud! I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what I was thinking. It's clear we won't be getting anywhere with this rehearsal. You can change out of your costume now, Dwayne. We're done here. Martina? Quentin? Same goes for you.
But I spent hours on my makeup.
And I spent months on this show!
Hey,
Look where
Pizza
that's
Nova.
gotten us! Everything I do to keep all this together,
Welcome,
and
Pizza.
you
Welcome,
lot
Raiders.
can't even turn up on stage now and then to hit a mark and say a few lines. Off with you, I need to think.
Please say we don't have to find out
I
where the
really
girl's gone
must
missing.
apologize for wasting your time. I knew the show needed some work. I didn't realize it wasn't fit to perform.
We need to get going. Good luck. Yes.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. Come on, we need to keep going.
Harley, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
No.
Pay no mind to Miss Leger.
No.
We'd be glad to help
let
you make
me
some
leave.
improvements.
Are you sure? Much as it pains me, I can't honestly
See
say
you,
we aren't in
Pizza.
need of help.
Certainly.
Well, I'm curious to hear your suggestions. But right now, we need to find out what's wrong with Faye. Your doctor friend went to examine her, but I think she's just having one of her tantrums. You know how actors can be. Or perhaps you don't. In which case, consider yourself lucky. I'm going back to the stage. Come see me if you have any ideas.
My idea is to leave.
Volunteering us to help, are you?
We showmen have a code. Never leave a fellow performer in a tight spot. It'd weigh heavy on my conscience if we didn't extend a helping hand.
So, any ideas?
Perhaps. Excuse me. I'm going to have another look at the stage.
Danny and I are gonna go talk to the two fellers playing the wizard and hero. I think you should help Miss Redbird see to that Fey woman. Anyhow, we'll see if we can't get this show in halfway decent shape. Come on, Danny boy.
Okay.
Oh, another visitor. Who are you?
Harley Leger. And you are?
Faye Davies. I don't expect it's a name you've heard.
And as I was explaining to your friend here, not a name I expect you'll hear very much in the future.
Mrs. Davies, I would advise moderation in regards to that brandy.
Dear girl, I understand you like to dabble in medical matters, but let me assure you that this is the only medicine that works for me.
Instantly dislikable.
A few books and a collection of wax cylinders in that box. A few books. A poster for some show I've never heard of called The Dissembling Mechanism. Apparently it opened on New Year's Day. Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Did you examine Mrs. Davies?
I did.
And what's your medical opinion?
I couldn't find anything wrong with her physically. At least nothing that an excess of brandy wouldn't explain. But she's in no state of mind to be performing.
I don't believe one needs to be a medical professional to draw that conclusion, my dear.
God, I dislike you.
What's your opinion of the show?
Yes, please tell us. Don't be shy. I'd like to hear what you think.
I didn't quite understand it, actually. Perhaps it would make more sense if we had seen the whole thing.
Dear girl, I truly doubt that would have made much of a difference.
I'll see you later.
That's all I was supposed to get? That actor lady is drunk?
Hello, Miss Martina, was it?
Yeah, Martina Holder. I am sorry we could not finish the show for you.
No worries. My companions and I are trying to help your director make it better.
Ah, good. We do need the help.
When did you join this troupe?
Oh, about 4 years ago. Then my English was not so good, so I did not get many parts with words. But I am getting more and more lines in the new shows.
I'd like to know about your castmates.
They are fine people, and I am lucky to know them. Mr. Ellis always has stories and jokes to make me laugh. He reminds me of a big bear. He's also a very fine actor, and he has performed on stages in great cities all over Europe. Dwayne is very nice, but he's also very shy. He does not speak much with me or any of the others. I have always thought it is funny that an actor is so shy, but when he is on stage, one would never know. And Mrs. Davies is like a mother to me. She cares for us very much and wants to make sure everyone is healthy and happy. Although she does nag a lot. My real mother did not nag so.
What did you used to do?
What were you doing before joining this troupe?
I was living in Bright Bay, working as an art model. One evening, the artist I modeled for took me to the theater to one of Miss Hatomi's shows. Afterward, he told me he was leaving to go to work for a new patron in Italy. He could no longer keep me.
So he took you out to lessen the blow?
Not exactly. It turned out he knew Miss Hatomi. He had painted some backdrops for her. He took me backstage after the show and asked her to let me audition. I was shaking. I cannot even remember what I said. I had never acted before, you see. But fortunately for me, Miss Hatomi decided to take me on. Otherwise, I would have been out on the street.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
Okay.
Phil?
Harley?
What was your opinion of the performance?
It was not to my taste. However, with some improvements, it could be entertaining.
All right. See you later. Miss Hatomi?
Yes?
When did you put this troupe together?
As it exists now? Oh, it's been about 5 years, I should say. That's when Quentin and I came over to Vespuccia.
What do you think would make the show better?
God, where do I begin? Faye's in a black mood. Quentin thinks his character lacks depth. Martina's unintelligible. And Dwayne's swordplay doesn't even rise to the level of farce. And naturally, theater's all about imagination. But with the quality of our set and props, I fear we are asking rather too much of our audience in that department. I'm this close to packing it all in.
Oh god, that's a huge talk tree.
What were you doing before starting this troupe?
I spent some time in London, then went traveling around Europe doing this and that. Until I met Quentin.
Have you performed yourself, or do you stay out of the spotlight?
Me? Oh no, I haven't been on stage since Paris. Quentin and I used to do a little magic show, if you can believe it.
No foolin'?
It was a very long time ago. Not worth remembering, honestly.
I want to hear about your cast.
Oh, they all have their talents. They wouldn't be in my troupe otherwise. But I don't hold with talking about people behind their backs. Why don't you get to know them yourself?
What's got Faye in a bad mood?
God only knows. Quentin took the last of the stew at supper without asking. Or Martina washed the linens the wrong way. Or Storm brewing 100 miles off is making her hair curl. She gets like this from time to time, usually whenever it will cause the maximum inconvenience to the rest of us. I haven't got time to deal with her right now. Maybe you can get through to her?
What's got Faye in a bad mood?
God only... Quentin, she gets usually...
No.
What's wrong with Quentin's character?
Not a thing! Everyone loves to hate the evil wizard. He's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. But Quentin thinks the role lacks depth. That his talents as an actor, and they are considerable, are going to waste. And yes, perhaps he has a point, but for God's sake, this is not the Royal Arcadium! We performers have a saying. There are no small roles, only small-minded, puffed-up thespians who suppose that entertaining the common man is somehow beneath them. I love Quentin, really I do, but I've had it up to here with his carping and grousing. He doesn't listen to me, but you're welcome to try bringing him down to earth if you'd like.
What's the problem with Martina?
Weren't you listening? She doesn't so much say her lines as chew on them and cough them out. She's a sweet girl, and her physical performance is outstanding. The things she can do with just her eyes. I'm loath to cut her part or take away the few lines she already has, but unless she finds some way to magically rid herself of that blasted Teutonic accent, I may have to.
You don't think the swordplay is good enough?
Setting aside that our prop swords are as likely to crumble to bits or give the players paper cuts as they are to make it through a scene intact, it's just not very convincing or compelling. Dwayne either needs to get more adept at handling them, or we need to rethink the whole sword thing. Thank God this play doesn't feature a real sword-fighting duel, but it does need a big climax where the hero slays the dragon. How are we supposed to do that without a sword?
What can we do to make your set and props better?
The best thing we've got is the dragon head, but it's not exactly intimidating.
I actually liked the dragon
Your friend
head.
over there said he might have an idea to make it better. Honestly, at this point, I'm all ears.
All right.
So long.
Take care.
Phil?
Harley?
Had any ideas to make the show better?
Yes, I believe so. This dragon head is amusing, but with some pyrotechnics, it could really impress a crowd.
You want to make it breathe fire?
Ah, indeed. Far more effective, wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. But how do you intend to pull it off?
I can rig it up quite easily, but I need a fuel source.
Like the accelerant I gave you for your detonator.
Precisely.
Okay.
All right.
Can we steal the bottle of rum and use that?
Unhand that brandy. I need it for my nerves.
Should smack you over the head with it. Okay, so that's clearly the answer to that. How we have to make her happy so that she lets us have that.
I'll leave her be for now.
I'm not allowed to talk to you and convince you to stop speaking so German.
Someone kept a copy of a local newspaper.
Travelling players perform Camelot in the Park before bemused onlookers. Picnickers, ramblers, and families intent on enjoying a leisurely afternoon in Las Virginias Pelican Park last Sunday were left befuddled by a nearly incoherent, plein-air rendition of the chivalric drama Camelot, staged there by impresario Miss Hatomi's itinerant theatre troupe, the Mid-Atlantic Players. The polyglot players, hailing from all over Vespuccia and the far reaches of the globe, gargled and fumbled through their lines in a stilted faux medieval para riddled with these and thous and forsooths, as they strove to bring King Arthur's court to life amidst the palms and fountains of West Lawn. Evidently in the habit of travelling light, the performers were obliged to make do with next to nothing in the way of sets, costumes, or props that would enliven the spectacle, or in any way further the illusion of a courtly medieval setting for the drama. As to drama, the plot was paper-thin, the stock tale of good overcoming evil, wholly lacking in subtlety and nuance, not to mention any trace of the courtliness and charm that might be expected of a romance from the days of yore. The legions of nappers, taking advantage of the mid-afternoon haze to doze off in the soft grass, evidently found little in the way of thrills during the proceedings to rouse them from their slumbers. Perhaps a more fitting description of the scene would have been the days of Bore. Ha 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 ha!
It's a poster for a musical show called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd. Must be one of Miss Hitomi's previous shows. A poster for The Mystery at Delphi. Opened on November 6th. A traveling trunk. Looks like it's been quite a few places. All sorts of costumes, fake beards, and other theatrical accessories. All sorts of costumes.
Okay, there's a fake beard. So this is presumably for making an Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what these
All sorts
are.
of
And there's some boxing gloves,
a pair of leather boxing gloves.
which we're allowed to take.
These all sorts of
But I don't know why they would be useful.
No way I can force it open. If my eyes don't deceive me, that's a false compartment. Just need to figure out how to open it. All sorts of costumes, fake beards, and other theatrical
He has
accessories.
good reach. He was tall, wasn't he? So you'd think he should have good reach.
The actor's life doesn't seem to allow for much in the way of comfort. The desk is covered in papers. Lots of notes. What a mess. Most of these seem to be show notes. Here's a list of names. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
Okay, there doesn't seem to be much there.
Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
You fellas talking about anything interesting?
Dwayne's showing me his stunt swordplay. He's supposed to battle the dragon at the end of the play. I've tried giving him a few pointers, but it's not going so great.
What did you think of the show?
Well, I'll put it this way. If one of Jake's shows went that way, I'd be looking for another job.
Talk to you later, Danny.
See you!
Ouch!
Hey there.
Oh, hello.
What are you doing with that sword?
Practicing for the show. I didn't get to do my big fight scene with the dragon.
That sword seems to be giving you some trouble.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
having a
Almost
tough
Donnie.
time getting the
Happy
hang of it.
Easter.
The balance on this thing is terrible, and I'm always afraid of breaking it. I never liked working with prop weapons. But as long as we're doing medieval romances, I guess I'm stuck with this sword.
How do you feel about boxing?
I'd be happier doing any kind of unarmed fighting style, really. But how am I supposed to box a dragon?
With style and panache, that's how. It's all about confidence. And I have a feeling you'd look much more confident without that sword.
You don't think the audience would be confused?
It's your job to make them believe it. They just want a good show.
I don't know. We've never done a boxing scene. I don't really know a lot about the form.
I used to do some boxing back in the day. Could show you some moves if you like.
Heck, sure. Why not? This whole sword thing clearly isn't working for me.
And so
But
the
I'd rather not do
heroes
it bare
slew the
knuckle.
dragon with their
Not really
boxing
into the whole
gloves.
Suffering for my art thing.
Right. I'll see what I can come up with. How did you end up on board with this crew?
Oh, I met Miss Hitomi and Mr. Ellis back east when they passed through my town in Appalachia. Snuck out of the house to see the show. I went backstage after to ask if I could audition to join. Miss Hitomi said no. So, after they packed up for the night, I stowed away in the wagon. Rode halfway to La Roche before they found me. That was when my real audition happened. Mr. Ellis spoke up for me. He said, "Now, Katie, my dear, you would be a bloody fool to leave the lad behind after a performance like that."
How did you know you wanted to act?
I always liked listening to other people, hearing how they talked. Used to practice in front of a mirror and try to imitate them. Sometimes I'd dress up to get the look just right. Ma didn't like that much.
What do you think of your fellow troupe members?
Some days I hate them. Most days I love them. And any day, I would die for them. We're a strange little family, you know? Mr. Ellis and Miss Hitomi are a squabbling ma and pa. Dear boy, you must make more time for yourself. There are too few hours in the day as it is. Oh, leave the boy alone, Quentin. He can decide how to spend his time. And Miss Davies is our busybody aunt. Are you comfortable? Have you got everything you need? Is that costume too itchy?
So that would make Martina like your sister?
No, not quite.
Are you sweet on Martina?
With all due respect, that's none of your concern, ma'am.
Say, you're good at imitating other people.
Oh, thanks. It's always been kind of a specialty of mine. Used to get me in a lot of trouble back home, so I only do it for laughs nowadays.
What were you doing before joining this troupe?
Working on my parents' farm. It was a rough life. Wasn't much to my liking. No glamour, no surprise, no fun, no opportunity to meet anyone interesting. And my father was very strict. All he wanted was for me to marry our neighbor's daughter so I would inherit his land and grow our family's holdings. Eventually, I realized I would die if I stayed any longer. My soul would die anyway, so I left.
Thanks. You can get back to your training.
Thanks, ma'am.
No, you can't. He may not. Put on these boxing gloves and learn how to box.
I found some boxing gloves in Miss Hitomi's trunk, if you want to practice sparring.
Oh, sure. That'd be great.
Danny, how'd you like to help out?
Sure.
First, your stance is all wrong. Stagger your feet, 1 foot in front, weight evenly balanced, knees slightly bent. Good. Now, show me what you can do. Not bad. Not bad. Try not to let your elbow flare out, Dwayne. Protect the ribs. I think you boys are getting the hang of it. Keep at it. Doing great. He's busy right now.
Am I meant to do something else while
That
this
thing's
is
been
happening?
through the ringer. Suppose being an actor requires a certain attention to one's physique. No mistaking who this wagon belongs to.
Ah, one of your companions has decided to join us.
This is Harley Legere. She used to be a performer of sorts herself, you know.
You don't say. What sort?
I was a fighter. Not sure that really counts.
My dear, if an audience paid money to come see you, that counts as performing in my book. I'm Quentin Ellis, by the by. Delighted to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Quentin Ellis is Othello, premiering October 7th. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
What did you,
How did you
think
find the
of
show?
the show?
Well, there's definitely room for improvement.
You seem quite at home among these performers.
Sure, these are my kind of people. Old Quentin and I have been trading tales about life in showbiz. You ought to stick around and have a listen. You might learn something.
I'll just be on my way. Could I have a moment, Mr. Ellis?
Of course, my dear.
Just how long have you been a part of this troupe?
Why, since before its inception. That is to say, Kate and I have known each other since well before this incarnation of the troupe was formed. We met in Paris, you see, back in '27.
What did you do before joining the troupe?
I was classically trained at the York Theatrical Academy. I performed all over England before decamping for the continent. When I met Katie, I was touring Europe playing before the crowned heads. Why, my performance as Othello received a standing ovation from Archduke Hubert of Austria.
What drew you to the stage?
Ah, the eternal question. What drew you to the ring?
Money. Found out my tolerance for pain was higher than my tolerance for hunger.
I see, an empty belly is a demanding muse indeed. For me, it was love of the art. I was born with it.
Paris, you say? What was that like?
Ah, those were the days, wild and carefree. We found welcome from a public receptive to our more experimental forays. Nothing like the audiences you find here, mind. Dusty farmers and unlettered cowpokes, the lot of them.
I'd like to know about the others in your troupe.
Fishing for nasty gossip, are we? Unless you have a couple of glasses and a bottle or two of very good liquor stashed somewhere about your person, you won't be getting any of that from me. Truly, they are good people, and I cherish every one of them. We rely on one another. Granted, we have our occasional quarrels, but what family doesn't? It's true that none of them have my training and decades of stage experience, so naturally they look to me for guidance and mentorship.
Miss Hitomi said something about you being unhappy with your character?
Oh, don't get me started. The evil wizard is a stock villain, paper thin, a cipher. All I do is tromp on stage and glower at the audience. He wants to rule the kingdom and kidnaps the princess, all right, but why? What motivates him to do it? Drama comes from a rich depth of character. Complexity, not caricature. I need something I can work with, something to sink my teeth into.
What if Jake and I came up with a better history for your character?
Do you think you could?
Sure. Harley's got the gift of writing, and I've been known to spin a yarn or two.
Very well. I must admit I'm curious to see what you come up with. Why does the wizard want to rule the kingdom?
Because he's evil. He believes it's his destiny. He doesn't, he wants to save it, or the king embarrassed him one time. So, revenge, moustache-twirlingly evil, white knight, or hero's call?
He has humble origins, but always felt he was meant for greater things.
Yeah, it's been his ambition since childhood, but he's never been given a fair shake.
Ah, yes, destiny, ambition, greed, classic stuff. All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
He's trying to protect her from the dragon. He's in love with her. He doesn't like her. No. He wants to hold her for ransom.
He's actually keeping her safe from the dragon.
Unexpected. I like it. And how does the dragon fit into all this?
The wizard is trying to tame the dragon and harness its powers for good. It's the wizard's pet, it's a weapon that the wizard uses. It's the wizard's mother.
The wizard wants to tame the dragon and harness its power to serve the kingdom.
Ah, I see. So truly he's just misunderstood. It's all a bit conventional, isn't it? Just the usual tropes. Where's the depth? Perhaps you should give it a bit more thought.
Really?
Let's take another.
All right. Why?
Okay.
He
believes it's his destiny. Let's go with this is certainly not
He finds
conventional.
her shallow and annoying and he wants her to suffer.
And how does the dragon fit into all this?
It's the wizard's
Dragon
mother.
is the wizard's mother, transformed by a spell he can't break.
Unless he feeds the princess to her.
Oh my, this certainly took a turn. You have some unusual ideas, but I'm not sure they all quite fit together. Perhaps you should give it...
Okay, let's be consistent.
Sure, and he's held a grudge this whole...
All right, but why...
He needs
Hold her
money,
for ransom
so
makes
he hopes
sense.
to get a ransom for her.
A wizard needing money? Couldn't he just magic some up?
Oh, he's a wizard, not an alchemist. I reckon he has to go to the bank like everybody else.
And how does the dragon fit into all this?
It's his
the
pet?
wizard's pet, or familiar or something.
Yes, I suppose that does make sense. You have some unusual... Perhaps you...
Yeah, I don't know what he wants, so...
Is it true you used to
Leave
have
that
a magic
alone.
act?
Why, yes, it is. Funny, I'd almost forgotten.
I don't wanna
Katie
just
and
brute
I
force all
briefly
of the
tried our
tree
hand at
options.
stage magic. She was quite adept at sleight of hand, but in the end it wasn't our true métier. Too much meticulous planning and bulky, specialized equipment. No room for spontaneity and delight. No emotional connection. No, it wasn't for us. Now Katie uses the old magic trunk to store costumes.
Appreciate the chat.
The pleasure was all mine, dear.
Are you going to give us a hint about what
I've
he
got
actually
nothing to
wants? No. Frustratingly. I should check if there was actually anything else in here that we could interact with, though.
Mr. Ellis seems rather versatile. Lots of notes and sketches of different costumes and disguises. That is quite a lot of makeup.
Okay. How's the boxing training finished?
Keep at it. Doing great.
Maybe. Can
I'll
I talk
leave
to
her-
you now? No.
Nothing to say. Mrs. Dave?
What is...
Why weren't you on stage today? Is something wrong?
Something wrong. Something wrong? Exactly what aspect of my current condition would suggest to you that anything is right?
What's got you so upset?
I'm about to lose my place here, that's what. Turned out on the dusty road to fend for myself. I'm simply overcome with the sheer injustice of it all.
I mean, an actor that doesn't act should be fired.
You think you're being dismissed? Why's that?
Oh, it's a long, long story, but what it comes down to is finances, or lack thereof. Kate has been tightening the belt lately. She says our performances haven't been attracting the crowds they once did. But even so, we aren't doing that badly. All of us have taken quite deep cuts to our usual allowance. It still doesn't seem to be enough. Naturally, I, being the most recent addition to the troupe, am the first up to the chopping block. If you ask me, something doesn't add up. I know for a fact that our run in Bois de Quivo is quite respectable, and yet apparently our financial future is dangling over the precipice by a fraying thread. It's all more than a tad suspicious.
So you suspect Miss Hitomi is taking more than her share?
We've all suspected it for some time, but I'm the only one who's willing to speak up about it. Everyone else knows I'll be the first to go, so they keep their heads down and wait to reap my share.
You've accused Miss Hitomi?
Of course not. I haven't got any proof, but you can bet I would if I did.
If you were let go, what would you do?
Oh, God, please don't ask me such things. I can't bear to think about it.
It's a serious question. Everyone needs
An
a backup
unemployed actor, whoever would have imagined
I just
such a
don't know.
thing?
Oh, what will I do? Kate couldn't be so heartless. Will they really just let me go? Will no one speak up for me? God, help me!
There now. I'm sure there's a solution. How long have you been a member of this troupe?
Oh, not long at all. Less than a year. I was the last one to join.
What did you do before you were a Queen's Mid-Atlantic player?
I was with another outfit based up in Fawcett, the Davies Traveling Spectacular. 15 years we were together. Anton, my husband, was our director, and I was the star. When I got too old to play the princesses and heroines, Anton would cast me as the ravishing queen. He always made sure I had a spot on center stage. 16 months ago, he passed away in a stagecoach accident. An enormous tragedy.
I'm terribly sorry.
So were we all. Anton was the fiercely beating heart of that troupe. Absolutely irreplaceable. The others couldn't imagine going on without him, so everyone just went their separate ways. Just like that, everything was gone. My heart's love, my director, my troupe, my livelihood. I'm sorry.
So, how did you come to join Miss Hitomi's troupe?
Oh, the traveling theater world is quite small, you know. We all know one another and meet on the road from time to time. Kate heard what happened and wrote me a letter of condolence. We corresponded for a while. Eventually, she said she was passing by Fawcett and offered to take me in. Quite simply, she took pity on me.
What drew you to the stage?
I've known I wanted to act since I was a girl. I would put on shows for my parents and the village children. I traveled to Fawcett to audition for Anton Davies' Traveling Spectacular. He had just formed the troupe then. First, I became his star actress, and soon enough, his wife.
What can you tell me about the other players?
Oh, such sweethearts. They've taken me in like a second family. Martine, especially. She's the daughter I never had. Dwayne is a good boy, but he keeps to himself. And dear Quentin. He and I have something of a friendly rivalry. Although he can get quite competitive at times, the old ham.
I'll just leave you to it.
Can I steal this now? No. Still no.
Nothing to say, really. I'd best leave.
Nope. Okay. We talk to you yet?
Miss Holder?
Yeah?
Do you suspect that Miss Hitomi might be keeping money from you and your castmates?
What? I never. Miss Hitomi would not do such a thing. Who has told you this? Was it Mrs. Davies?
Well, yes.
I am not surprised. I think that of all of us, she is easily the most dramatic.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
Phil?
Harley?
Nope.
All right. Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
I had a chat with Mrs. Davies. She seems to think her position's in jeopardy.
What? Why would she think that?
Are you saying you're not planning on letting her go?
Of course not, especially not so close to opening night. What a ridiculous notion! Honestly, I don't know where Faye gets these ideas.
What's wrong with Quentin's character?
Not a thing! Everyone... But,
No, we already heard that.
I love Quentin. He doesn't listen.
So long.
Take care.
We already heard that Martina can't pronounce her sentences. She speaks too German. I don't know why we would suddenly know how to open the secret compartment here.
If my eyes just need to figure... No way. All sorts of
Oh, there are buttons
A
down
brass
here.
button. Mr. Ellis said this was Miss Hitomi's old magic trunk. Maybe these buttons aren't just for decoration. Damn. Seems I didn't...
How do I know which ones are correct?
A brass button. Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right sequence. Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right sequence.
Can we ask someone else about the trunk? It might have been that we didn't know to ask until we'd
Mrs.
interacted
Dave,
with the buttons.
I spoke with Miss Hitomi, and she said she has no plans to let you go.
Well, of course she would say that. That's how it works in this business. All seems well and good until the monthly budget is drawn up, and then the trapdoor opens beneath you and you swing.
So you don't trust Miss Hitomi's word?
I don't trust anyone's word. Only ink on paper.
I'll just leave you to it.
The other room had ink on paper.
What a mess. Othello.
No, but not the ink on paper we want.
Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
So...
She doesn't have anything for us to follow up asking for, like, itemized accounts.
Keep at it.
Which leaves the only thing as brute forcing this.
Could I have a
unless he
moment,
can
Mr. Ellis?
Of course, my
tell us
dear.
the code for the secret thing.
I heard a rumor that Miss Hitomi might be misappropriating the troops' funds.
Poppycock, pure hearsay. I'll bet Faye put that poison in your mind. I have known Katie longer than anyone. She is many things, but never a thief.
Let's take another shot at coming up with a story for your wizard.
All right. Why does the
He's just plain evil.
All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
He's smitten with her and wants to make her his bride.
Yes, that's usually the case, isn't it? And how does the dragon fit into all this?
The dragon is the wizard's mother,
Unless he...
Oh my, this... You have some Perhaps you should give it...
Yeah, This kind of thing where it's you must navigate the dialogue tree correctly X number of times in a row based on no actual information are terrible. The other cases where we've run into this were in... what was the Wajidai one? The sciencey one. Well, I can't look it up at the moment. But the Wajidai science one was like that, where it had the same thing at the end. You just had to navigate the dialogue tree correctly based on no real information, and it was terribly annoying because of that. Except this one is doing it here.
Why?
So, we will begin with 1, 1, 1.
You have...
Nope, okay. 1,
all right.
2,
Yeah, and how...
1.
It's all just the... Or why?
1,
all right.
3,
He's...
And how...
1.
It's all just perhaps...
Let...
Why?
1,
He is...
4, 1.
all right.
He...
And... It's all just perhaps you... Or why?
1, no. Well, really, we should be iterating on the last one first.
Yeah.
All right.
He's...
And how...
1, 2, 1.
It's all just perhaps...
Exit, and we're going to actually write all these down.
Could I have...
Of...
As I do them.
Or why?
He...
Yeah. All right.
1,
And how...
1, 1.
You have... Perhaps you...
Right, this doesn't make for good gameplay.
Why?
1,
all right.
He's...
2,
And...
1.
It's all just perhaps... Why?
1,
all...
3,
And...
1.
It's all just perhaps you... Why?
1.
All right.
4.
And how?
It's the wizard's main weapon.
Oh, I've
It's all
accidentally done the
just
wrong
perhaps.
one.
What?
1.
All right.
4. 1. There we go.
It's all just perhaps you. All right. Why?
Okay. 2.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
1.
And how do?
1.
You have some perhaps. Or why?
2.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
2.
Yes. And how does?
1.
Ah, I see. It's all just perhaps you.
Let
Or why?
2, 2, 2.
Yeah.
All right.
He-
And.
It-
It's all just perhaps you should give it. A bit. All right. Why does the?
What do we iterate on next?
It-
2.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
2.
Yeah. And how?
It's the
3.
wizard's main weapon.
It's all just perhaps.
Let
2,
Why?
2, 4.
All right.
he's
Yeah. And how?
the dragon.
Unless.
You have, perhaps you.
Nope.
Should give it a bit more thought.
Let
Or why?
Yeah.
All right.
2.
Oh.
1.
And how?
it's
2.
You have perhaps. Or why?
2.
All right.
1.
And how?
3.
You have, perhaps you should.
Nope.
Give it a bit. All right. Why?
2.
All right.
1.
And how does?
4.
dragon.
Unless.
Oh. You have, perhaps you should give it.
Nope. Okay.
more.
All
Let's
of the
Why?
3 iterations.
Yeah.
2.
All right.
3.
And how?
the
1.
Ah. Yes. The wizard is human, like any. He strives. This I can work with. Thank you.
2, 3, 1 is the correct combination. Why? Who knows?
Nothing of it. Appreciate
Honestly,
the chat.
don't care.
Pleasure was all mine, dear.
This segment is ending up like the boat captain, where there was an option at the start that said, oh, please let us just skip over this. And we selected it, and then the game says, no, you must go do it. Which is terrible fake choice. Let's go report our success on at least making him happy.
Miss Hitomi,
Yes?
so
Take
Okay,
care.
we've supposedly fixed that. Good, we can't report on it though. Now it's
I'll
just
leave her be.
you. And I can't talk to her.
Mrs. Dave, I'd best leave her.
Can I give you this?
My dear, I have no.
Can I... No, nothing else would make sense to give you. Then unless we brute force the box as well...
Miss Hitomi,
Yes?
But the solution space for the box is a lot worse than the solution space for the dialogue tree. The dialogue tree was only 3 options with 4 each, whereas the box is like 8 options and you have to pick 4 in a row. It is so much larger a computational space to explore.
what's the
But
so
take care.
Can I present you with this?
I make it my custom.
No. Can I present you with the news?
I am afraid I cannot read in English so well.
Can I present you with the news?
I don't want.
Can I present either of you with the news?
Thank.
No, thank.
He's busy.
That's a no.
Lots of no. Mr. El- What a Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means. What a Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
They don't have letters on them. If they had letters on them, then OCCD could actually mean something.
A brass butt. A brass. Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right sequence. All sorts of cost. What a mess. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
So,
a poster for the Mystery at Delphi. Opened on November 6th.
Delphi equals 6.
A post. What a mess. Othello, Carondelet.
But this doesn't make sense to be the source of information for this aside from being in the same room. It should be the theatre man who used to do... It should be... It should be this guy, right? Once we've made him happy by changing his story, he should give us the information we want about the box, because he used to be the one that worked with the box. Right? He makes sense to be the person to give you the information about the box. Maybe Asian lady herself, but seeing as presumably we're maybe finding information about her fake finances in there, we wouldn't want to use her as a source. He's the only one that makes sense to use
Quentin
as
Ellis
that source.
is Othello.
Othello supposedly equals 7.
Premiering October 7th.
And I don't think we've encountered the dates for the other two, have we?
It's a poster for a musical show.
Okay, this did have a date. I'm wrong. Car on delay equals 2.
Called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd.
And what was the last one? Delphi.
What a mess.
No, we have got
Most
Delphi.
of these. Othello, Carondelet.
Dissembling. Which is... Drunk Lady's Room.
A poster for some show I've never... Apparently it opened on New Year's Day.
Equals 1. So 6, 7, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, but... which direction do you count from? Maybe we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1.
Damn. Seems I didn't...
There's no reason to think that you'd have to count left to right rather than right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it is this versus the other one, then it's just a poorly indicated...
Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right
Good.
sequence.
Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1.
Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right sequence.
Now it might need to be those ones, but in the order 1, 2, 6, 7. So...
A brass button.
Come on. 1, 2, 6, 7.
Damn.
And then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Damn. Seems I didn't press them in the right sequence.
Then it might be caring about the month that they're in, not just the day of the week. So the first one was New Year's, which therefore is January, the dissembling one. I don't remember the month for the other two. We'll go look at the months.
A poster for the mystery at Delphi.
Delphi is 6th of November.
Open. It's a poster for
Rondelay is June.
Musical.
And when is Othello? Nah.
Quentin
Segment
Ellis
has
is
been terrible.
Othello, premiering October 7th.
This and the sailor section, I really dislike that they have dialogue things at the start that's like, I don't want to do this, I want to skip over this, and you say that dialogue option and they just say, no, you must do this. Fake choice.
Quentin Ellis is
October. You expect it from a JRPG.
Othello, premiere.
Not from a Western RPG. Let's try the months. Like, why even give you the dialogue option if it isn't a real choice? It's just frustrating. Now. So, if we're saying it's the month, double check that I've written these down in the right order.
What a Othello, Carondelet,
Othello. Then Carondelet. Then Dissembling. Then Delphi.
Assembling Delphi.
So,
Wonder what that.
in terms of months, this probably doesn't even make sense in terms of the number of buttons. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, there is no October. There is no button for it to be October, so it cannot be the month. But then maybe that's the information on the order that it has to be. But I'm pretty sure we tried that. 7, 2, 1, 6.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah, no reason to think it's that rather than counting right to left, left to right. It's so bad.
Quite a bit of
so
cash
bad,
in
bad,
here.
bad, bad,
So
bad.
Miss Hitomi is skimming off the profits? Perhaps that book might shed some light on things. Seems to be some kind of diary or ledger. I'd better take a look at this.
And if she is skimming, like this pile of money suggests, as I said, it doesn't make sense to ask Asian Lady about it, but it still would make sense to ask... Super Actor Man, because he used to use the box. He should know the code for the box. Grumble, 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 grumble. Anyway, let's actually read the new ledger.
Huh. It seems Miss Hitomi's keeping the extra money to invest in the show. She calls it a rainy day fund, and she has a separate space for emergency salary reserve. So Mrs. Davies was wrong. I ought to show her this. Maybe it'll calm her down.
At least this makes sense story-wise.
I'd best leave her.
No, I have to rub it against you. Fair enough.
I found this ledger in Miss Hitomi's trunk, along with some cash.
So I was right. This is exactly the proof I was looking for.
It's not quite what you think. Look at the entries.
Rainy Day Fund. Emergency Salary Reserve. Why, she isn't keeping this for herself.
She's setting it aside to help you all.
Oh dear, how embarrassing. What a fool I've been.
We all make mistakes. So now that you know your position is safe, will you get on stage and perform?
Yes, of course.
Please say no
Thank
so that
you
she's
for clearing
justified
up
in
this
firing you.
misunderstanding.
And we can be rid of you.
I really do appreciate it.
Like, oh no, I'm afraid I'm going to be fired when I refuse to do my work. It's so terribly surprising and I'm so put upon. God.
I make it my...
Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
No, we haven't fixed Martina. This doesn't make sense that this is thing because we haven't...
So long.
Take care.
We have neither fixed that boxing boy supposedly loves Brunhilde, nor have we fixed that
I'll leave her
Brunhilde
be
speaks
for now.
German. But we can't talk to her, so it looks like the only thing we have to do is this.
Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
I think you can...
Really?
Positive.
Well, whatever. It's the only new dialogue option we've seen, so...
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a beautiful and charming princess.
Oh, I love my land. The people are kind, the water fresh, and the days are sunny and bright.
The princess was loved and admired by everyone in the land, except one. An evil wizard coveted the kingdom and kidnapped the princess, intending to marry her and gain the throne.
Hark! You may think me evil, but wait until you discover my true intentions.
To ensure she could not escape, he summoned a terrifying dragon to guard her.
Right, and just because we've talked to him about his character's backstory doesn't mean that, you know, the rest of the cast, the person running the show, has
However,
agreed to this.
All was not lost.
So... Oh, I really...
For a young hero rose
bad.
to the challenge.
I shall battle the dragon and save the princess.
How do they
That
justify
is,
the boxing?
if my dear mother lets me.
My dearest boy, proud as I am of your bravery, I worry so for your safety.
Fear not, mother, for I shall return victorious from battle.
I will be safe because I'm not using live steel. I'm using boxing
and so
gloves.
the brave lad rode to the castle and confronted the mighty dragon.
Foul beast! Your end is nigh!
When did they get a different dragon? And what happened to the fight? Oh yeah, we never got
With the dragon defeated,
alcohol
our brave hero rescued the princess and
for the
vanquished
fireworks.
the wizard.
That's true. I forgot about that, and that one is my fault.
Curses! My plans have been foiled.
Oh, my brave son has returned.
Ah, your highness, I am smitten by your beauty. Will you marry me?
Yeah, gladly will I marry you.
And they lived happily ever after.
I was too busy being grumpy old man about the stupidity to remember to go get the bottle of brandy and bring it to use to make the fire
at
breathing.
least we made it through to the end that time. Thanks for trying to help with the fixes. You've pointed us in the right direction.
Glad to be of service.
I'm curious to know how it all turns out.
I
Send
really
me a
am
note
not.
at the
I
Rosewater
hope I
Post
never hear
after
from
you
any of
premiere.
you ever again.
Gladly.
We should be on our way. Miss Johnson has surely awoken from her nap by now.
True enough. Break a leg next week, Miss Hitomi.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Good bloody riddance.
We did what we could for Miss Hitomi and her folk. In the end, they formed a strange kind of family, and they seemed determined to keep on going. We've kept on going too. The oppressive, arid heat is beginning to give way to fresh breezes and forested slopes as we leave the desert scrub behind and cross into the mountains. Onward and upward.
You know what? Nope. That segment has left such a foul taste in my mouth that I'm going to go cure that with pizza. For it is pizza night here. I can hear the neighbors have just stopped by. They bring homemade wood fire oven cooked pizza, and that will rid the terrible distaste of having to deal with the theater troupe from my mouth. Because good God, that was even worse than the sailor section. So, peace for now.